Hi, Scorpio. How's it going, my beautiful babies? My name is Yvonne. You may know me as Luna with LT Reads, and today we are doing a personal, automatic writing, in-depth read for you. I guess that's what I'll call it. These are messages that I have channeled, and I'm doing this in a little bit of a different style and manner than I typically do, but I hope that there will be some type of message or help or guidance, confirmation, clarity that can help a Scorpio out there. Please remember to switch the rules as you see fit throughout this reading if you happen to see or feel another energy, okay? So, for some reason, reading recurrence came up, Scorpio, for you, because I feel like there have been a lot of common themes within your readings I've been reading you for years now, but it seems like time and time again, the same thing comes up. And I'm not sure if that's because there's a wound that has been left untended or something that maybe has been avoided, but let's just roll with that for now. I also have written down creatures of habit, unique versus universal. Okay, so there's this CIA agent that I love. I think her name is Eve. Oh, I'm going to butcher the pronunciation. Eva Pumpuris or something like that. She's a CIA agent who now speaks about empowerment and being able to read body language and deciphering the difference between honest and deceitful people through body language and things of that nature. And the reason why I'm mentioning this is because with this theme of unique versus universal, there was a topic of discussion that she was mentioning, and she was saying, uniqueness is a beautiful quality, but it can also be very harmful in the sense that when we feel like we are overly unique, or like nobody is similar to us, we can isolate ourselves. And that takes away from the beauty of what is universal. And with reading recurrence there, I feel like that's the common theme, is that realizing that there are other people that feel the same ways that you do, that think the same ways that you do, that have the same morals that you do, or that have experienced, similar traumas or what have you. Okay? So with creatures of habit here, I think, Scorpio, that you are very prone to patterns. You may face a lot of common themes in your life or find things recurring, and this is a matter of reprogramming through human behavior. Scorpio, I feel like, is very philosophical as well, and deep and mystique, so hopefully you can follow me on this thread. But with human behavior here, I have written wired similarly. So as humans, right, we are all wired similarly. And that is where the studies of psychology and philosophy have come into effect in present day. And with us being wired similarly, we all, to a certain extent, like to abide to a certain schedule. Now, underneath that, I've written inclined intuition versus interfering indifference. Scorpio, I think that this is a constant battle for you. You may feel like you are, and only take this if it resonates, I'm not trying to poke or jab, okay, but I'm here to read what I have channeled and not what I haven't, and I don't sugarcoat. So I feel like Scorpio is very known for being indifferent. You can be cold, you can be detached, you can be very separated from the way that you act and the way that you feel. And I'm not saying that's a bad trait, but I'm also, pardon me, not saying that it's a good one. What is good is having the ability to decipher between what is our true intuition and when we feel like we are being indifferent to our detriment. Okay? Scorpio, I think that there have been a lot of times, professionally, platonically, and personally, different categories and probably distinctions and events that you can recall specifically, where you felt undermined and overlooked or disrespected. That's a huge theme. You may have felt unheard, unappreciated, or unseen for your efforts, for the dedication, time, effort, energy that you have put in to certain endeavors. Scorpio is also known for having this darkness. I think I did touch on that a little bit earlier, but you have a discretion for your discernment. And what I mean by that is that what you display, what you share, how you actually feel, what you, even maybe upon the expression of your face, you know, there is a little bit of constant maybe indifference there where you don't want to put your cards on the table, right? And there is a level of practicality of participation that you always have to measure. It's like, how much of myself can I willingly commit or put into this without needing to feel defensive or getting hurt or not seeing success? All right. So numbers that may be relevant to you, we have 666, 342, 888, 444, and 72. Particularly 444. I'll have to look into that further, but fours do in tarot represent a need for control. We're going to get back to that, Scorpio. But, and 72, did I say that? Okay, but yeah, anyways, expression, acceptance, and prioritizing. You may need to work on your level of expression, your ability to express, the ways in which you gain acceptance of past traumas, of experiences, of rejection. I don't know why that's coming up. Prioritizing yourself, okay? And doing that means that you need to acknowledge when you are overly determined to detach. There are probably situations, again, professional, platonic, or personal. Apply it where it fits best for you, where you feel a determination to detach, maybe because of a fear, maybe because of some type of discernment that you have within yourself, but is it valid? Okay? Ask yourself that in that moment and strive to not be impulsive when you make those decisions. There's a preemptive prolonging here for protection, so I understand very strongly where that comes from, okay? But when we misgive to ourselves, when we misunderstand our moral being, we will thrive in misery. Through love, there's also lust. Yes. There can be loss. Yes. There's limerence, but also with all of that, there can be lack. So which of these words do you seek the most? Do you want loss? Do you want just lust? Limerence, I mean, that is relative to lust, but do you seek lack? I don't think so. Love can be nurtured within yourself, even if it's not from another person. Okay? And that takes a heck of a lot of shadow work and acceptance, self-awareness, but it's possible. Liability lingers like lemons left in a lake. Resentment versus forgiveness. Yeah, do you hold resentment against yourself, or can you forgive not others for their misgivings or for misunderstanding or disrespecting you, but for you allowing yourself to put yourself in these situations? You know, there's a level of accountability that we need to take and give, right? It's all about balance. But one sour lemon can sour an entire lake. There's some kind of metaphorical meaning in that. It's something about not letting bitterness overtake you, okay, or overwhelm you. The grand scheme of things. Confrontation versus conversation and control. You may very well need to confront things that you have been avoiding, maybe through conversation with other people. If not, maybe a gentle conversation with yourself. But if you have been avoiding these conversations or this confrontation, is it out of a need for control? And that's smudged too. So I'm like, okay. Control and 444. That's, oh, I did say those were interconnected, didn't I? All right, that's crazy. Make me your marionette. This is about not letting people take your control from you as well. And also being able to discern and have a sense of discretion as to when you are being disrespected. Okay, that's huge. Scorpio, I'm also loving the color familiarity, or the familiarity. Something about that is significant here with this purple. That's coming up quite prevalently for me, but purple is all about royalty and ascension and about recognition. Win-win outcome is forecast. Full moon in Libra. Libra is about balance, about justice. The house cat is about getting out of the house. If you feel like you've been locked in, maybe touching grass, feeding your wild side, and recognizing that house cats themselves, yes, they have what's the word I'm looking for? A nurtured nature in a sense, because they are, a house cat after all, but they still have this wild feral sense about them where they still have their own sense of being. And maybe I feel like that is a very scorpionic trait, honestly. But self-care is pivotal at this time. Also, perhaps, what I found interesting, sorry to interrupt, but this self-care card is so much different in color scheme, this green and blue, in contrast and comparison to these other cards. Like, look at all these purple. New exercise program that may be relative or important for you to consider. And let's jump into the tarot to close the message for you, Scorpio. Knight of Pentacles to the Ace of Pentacles. It might be a new career, a new beginning in a career that you are interested in. Perhaps it's just finding a more secure sense of stability or foundation. But whatever that may be, it's important to plant those seeds in a very slow, methodical way. To not rush it, take your time, have patience, trust the process, okay? With the Devil and the Five of Wands and the Four of Pentacles here, you may very well find yourself fighting yourself on some negative impositions, some fears, some doubts, possibly insecurities, or even overwhelming obsessions. What those may be, well, do you have an overlying need for control? And does that hold you back in some way, shape, or form? Now is the time to reflect upon that and decide if you are fighting either yourself or other forces on that notion. Good luck, thank you so much, and all the best. Mwah. Love and light until we meet again.